alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I want to play a game.
Hello and welcome to the Sounds from the Grave podcast. My name is Yussef.
And my name is Vania.
And try anything and you'll get canceled, bro.
Ah, man, I didn't know that we were recording the Twitter community already.
Wow. That was fast.
I'm kidding.
Not even
Anyway.
30 seconds in and we're already making moves.
Yeah, we're making mad moves. Hi guys, how are you? We're gonna give you a little slice of life. Not really though. So hi, we are back with another one of our series from the streaming services that we're doing each month. Hopefully, I think each month. If we can come up with like 10 other streaming services, that'd be cool, I guess. But right now we're doing Netflix. Everybody has Netflix. Everybody practically owns Netflix. Not them trying to raise the prices to $20 now.
I did see that, which is freaking ridiculous.
I mean, their selections are good, but
they
I don't think
they have good selections, but like I don't know if it's worth $20 a month.
There's already streaming services that are going on to like what $5, like the bare minimum 10.
Yeah.
But like, and HBO like has like promotions like every now and then, but Netflix, you're a little greedy.
Yeah, because at least like some of them are offering like different options. Like you have like the premium package. It's like, for example, HBO Max. It's like $15 a month, but then they have like a cheaper package that includes ads, but you still get all the same stuff. It just happens to have advertisements in it. So for some people, that's still a great option because you can still get to see everything, just ads. Not a huge deal.
But can we talk about the Disney Plus one real quick? Because
what's going on with the Disney Plus one? I haven't heard anything about that.
So Disney Plus is like $5.99, or did they raise their price?
I think recently? It's like because I pay for it, so I think it's like $5.99.
So it's $5.99 now, but now they're going to be having a more economic option with ads, but they haven't released the price yet, and I'm like, who doesn't have like $5 to spare? Like,
some people can't. Some people like have all the streaming services and they just can't swing all of them at once. So that's like maybe they prefer like Hulu and Netflix over Disney Plus because it just depends on what they take, like kind of stuff they like to watch. So that might be why.
I mean, there's some people that I don't know. Like if you're not into Disney, that's one thing. But if you want to watch Star Wars and if you think $5 ain't enough, then I don't know. Like. The priorities need to be set, and I don't think Hulu is one of them. Hulu is very expensive too, and the dollar.
Unless you do like their bundle, because like the Hulu and Disney Plus have a bundle where it's like $14 a month, and you get both, and you get ESPN Plus if you're into sports, which I mean isn't bad because you get 3 streaming services for like $14.
Yeah, but is it ad free for?
It is. Hulu, it's a premium, so that's not bad. Not bad.
I'm paying the 99-cent one for Hulu right now because that was a promotion they had for like what was it, December, like Christmas promotion. So I was like, I'm just paying $1 practically for Hulu right now.
Like right now the only streaming services that I genuinely pay for are Hulu, Disney Plus, and Shudder. Because I have another family member that pays for Netflix, and then we actually get free HBO Max because we're with Spectrum, surprisingly.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, free HBO
you
Max.
You pay for that? You pay for that? Anyway. Kidding. I'm not trying to be a dick. Anyway. But besides that, we are covering... something that's in the Netflix originals, I guess you could say, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is the recent release of this year. So we're doing that movie that everybody was like bashing and loving all at the same time on Twitter that day.
It's been very divisive. It's been like either you love it or you hate it. Some people love it. Some people just absolutely hate it every single second of that. I'm in the middle of the fence, kind of leaning towards not loving it though.
I will have to agree with you. Like I said, for me,
Yeah.
it's like I don't love it. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's kind of like,
Yeah, like I don't think it's
it was
like
entertaining, I guess. Like,
yeah, like I don't think it's
you know,
irredeemable or it's like everything about it is bad because it has some really good stuff, it has some good moments. But
yeah,
they're few and far in between.
for sure.
Like it's very much a mixed bag in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, like
But
Vanya said, this is the first episode of this month where we're doing Netflix nightmares. So it's horror movies that you can find on Netflix. So what we decided to do was we're gonna do two originals that you can only see on Netflix, and then two non-originals, but that you can see on Netflix anyway if you're looking for something new to watch. So yeah, we'll have some fun with those because there's one that I'm really excited to see that I actually haven't seen before, but that's gonna be our next episode. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
you haven't seen that one?
No, I have not. Don't judge me.
Heathen.
Whatever.
Heathen.
I was born a heathen. I
Heathen.
will die a heathen.
Oh, jeez. So let's talk about some of the more, well, let's not actually. Let's talk about the things we did like about this movie. So
Well, first of all,
tell
like
me,
basic. Let's do like a basic synopsis of like what the film is about.
yeah,
So this is set. What is it? 50 years after the original Texas Chainsaw.
has it been 50
Is it 50 or
years?
40? Because the original came out in 74. So I'm guessing it's gonna be set like 50 years, and they like time jump a little bit to like 2024 or something like that. But anyway, besides that, premise is that this
1974
group of Gen
minus
Zers,
2022, 48 years.
we'll say 50 for the sake of 50. A nice round number.
I thought it was wait, hold on. TCM
Uh,
19. Oh, it's
Vanya here
74.
is
You're
our resident typist. She's doing all our background information in the middle of
right.
recording.
Yeah. If you
So
hear clickety
if
clackety,
you
it's
guys like
because like the
keyboard ASMR, then you came to the right podcast.
yes, clickety clackety is all the keyboard
Hell yeah.
mechanical keyboard ASMR for you. But yeah, it's 1974.
Gotcha. But yeah,
I like
like
to
the
be accurate
basic
with my
premise is you have this group of Gen Zers that are moving into this ghost town, and they're literally just buying it up and gentrifying it. So essentially making it
yeah,
like hipster heaven, where it's
yeah,
just like all the people our age are just gonna come here and buy land. Like what do they think? Like they think this is Animal Crossing or something. Like
yeah,
they're like this new town is gonna be our Animal Crossing town, or people can just come and buy property and sell stuff and be cool.
yeah. It is. It was an interesting concept. I was like, who
Yeah,
thought of this?
which I already have an issue with because I'm like, we are not in the economy for anybody our age to be buying buildings like that. Like, who the fuck do they
Or
think we
buying a
are?
town.
Who the fuck do they think we are?
Yeah, I was like, damn, what kind of money is that? Content creator money. I mean, I'm not trying to bash on anybody. If you make a lot of money off of content creation, hey, more power to you.
Well, one of them owns a restaurant too. Like
But
one of them's like a straight up chef, I think.
yeah,
So
like,
I'm like, yeah, that
but they
makes some
still
money, I guess.
update a lot on social
Yeah,
media.
because
If
you
you,
kind of have to in these, with
like,
that stuff.
I was
So
like, the way
yeah.
you're promoting your stuff, you really do be looking like a hipster that
And
have
they
money.
dress like hipsters. I mean, you got like real life Maribel because that's what she looks like. I'm gonna call her Maribel for the rest of this. She looks like that
Yeah,
one. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. She looks like Maribel from Encanto. Like I'm just gonna call her Maribel.
yeah,
'Cause she looks just like her, but like hipster Maribel.
yeah. I kind of like the fact that I liked the costume design because it made it seem like they were trying to keep some 70s elements to it,
Yeah,
which I
I
thought was really
agree. Yeah,
cool.
especially with like
Yeah,
the female actresses'
yeah.
clothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
that had a lot of '70s influence on there, which I appreciate. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, what they're doing is they're buying up this town, and they come across this old lady. And this old lady's like, no, 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 this is my building. You can't kick me out of it. And in the chaos that ensues there, she just straight up has a heart attack or like a seizure or something. And she goes to in the ambulance with her protector, who just so happens to be good old Bubba Gump.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him that now too instead of just Bubba. I'm just gonna call him Bubba
Bubblegum.
Gump.
Bubblegum.
Bubba Gump.
For you, you've seen Forrest Gump, right? Now try the new Bubblegum. They should just have named that the movie. Anyway.
Yeah,
Hi,
exactly.
how are you? But
Hi.
either way.
So yeah, that's like the basic
But
premise, and
then
of course, you know, Leatherface does his thing and just goes ballistic, puts on another face, and just starts killing people left and right.
yep. Good old Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think this was like maybe 15 to 30 minutes. I can't really tell you a time frame, but I felt like the killings went really quickly. But we'll
Yeah,
get more
this
into that into
yeah, this movie did feel like a little fast. Like it felt like it just ended, and
yeah,
you're like, wait, shit, that was it.
yeah,
Like it felt short. That's what I meant to say.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
but
anyway, we don't want to get too much into it, I think, because we want to talk about the things we did like versus what we didn't like. Of course, favorite kills, favorite scenes. Then our final thoughts on the movie, just like our usual new format that we've been doing. If you've been
yeah,
listening to us before, we used to just like review the entire movie for you, but now we're just going to tell you the things, the pros and cons of the movie, our final thoughts, and see if that's something that you want to check out for yourself, or if you've already seen it. If you have different opinions, please reach out to us. We would like to hear them.
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Vanessa said, so we're gonna start off. Our first segment is things we like, things we don't like. Then we take our little break, go to our grave robbing facts, and then we'll go on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like to start, Vanya, or would you like me to start on our things we liked?
Um, okay, so I think I'm gonna go. But like for the things I did like, of course, like I said, I did like the wardrobe choice of like making them very hipster. Like, of course, you can tell that they were kind of like Gen Zers, so borderline. The end of the times of millennials. Hi, how are you? I am the last millennial. But like, they had some hipster vibes to it with the '70s wardrobe and that kind of thing. I thought it was very interesting about how I'm really awful with names. So the sister of the one that looks like
Like
the
Mirabelle.
Maribel, yeah. So her, I was very shocked by the value of how we see her past, having to
Mm-hmm.
do with like a school shooting that
Yeah.
she was involved in, and the trauma that has reflected on her. To be kind of scared, but also wanting to conquer her fear of guns and that kind of thing. I kind of thought it was interesting, but it was like something that I really liked because I feel like that's something that they're really scared to put in movies in general because
Mm-hmm.
it's such a touchy subject and schools very often go through that. But I think it told it very well because it's almost like overcoming that fear of like having to go through something very traumatic and uh ultimately conquering it, as I will
Mm-hmm.
be saying later, how it happened. I also enjoyed the fact that there was, despite you know some of the weaker elements in this movie, I did enjoy the visuals and the way that everything that was kind of formatted out, but at the same time, like I said, like you said, it felt a little fast.
Yeah.
Um, and just um also the kills were good, but I'm gonna
We'll
like
get to this.
there were some really creative kills, but like I said, there's just a lot of, like I said, it's a love hate with this movie. So, and I kind of enjoyed a lot of its elements, especially the aesthetic that it maintained, especially maintaining the gore
Mm-hmm.
that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is known for.
Or yes, yes, kind of known for it if you like the newer ones, because obviously the first one doesn't actually have a lot of gore,
Yeah,
which I like.
like the thing is like there is a lot of like this movie has a lot of gore, and of course the first one was already disturbing, but it's how we kind of envision it as it gets worse throughout the years, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could say. So I kind of enjoyed that element of storytelling and just the way that people went about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, and in terms of, there are some things that you said that I disagree with, but we'll get to those in a second because we'll get to the things I didn't like in just a little bit. Um, but in terms of the stuff that I did like, I definitely like the cinematography. This movie had some really beautiful shots. Like the one of the things that I really liked were like all those big wide shots of the open countryside were really nice. The shots of the town when they first get to the town was really nice because you really see just like this place is
How abandoned.
super abandoned. It's all desolate and like creepy, and I'm like, okay, that looks really good. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's also the scene in the cornfield or the sunflower field where it's just like a sea of corn or sunflower. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a sea of crops of some sort. That looked really nice. Um, I like that. I definitely like the kills. The kills were a lot of fun. Like I was watching this with my brother, and we were like, "Ooh, oh yeah!" Like we were just like cheering the kills because we were like, "These are fun kills to watch."
Yeah.
Um, and stuff like that was fun. I like the twist at the end. That was kind of nice. I was kind of
Yeah.
expecting it because it wasn't really much of a twist because it is a slasher, so you kind of already know what happens. So spoiler alert:
Yeah.
they think they kill Leatherface. Of course, they didn't. He comes back in for one last kill. Um, I just wasn't expecting it to be the type of kill that he was gonna do because that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said, it's like little bits and pieces of stuff that I did like. Uh, when it comes to the stuff I didn't like, the story is just the worst. I don't
Yeah.
like this
It
idea
was
of like,
weird.
yeah, and
I didn't enjoy it because I was like, first of all, when did all these people get so much money that you can buy almost an entire town?
mm-hmm,
Basically, boss people around, and they kind of make it almost like a conference getaway workshop thing. It was very weird. It was like a
it was strange as
Denzier,
hell.
yeah, like auction
Yeah,
for people to buy towns. Like, what
you're just
in
buying
the
up
actual?
chunks of
I mean,
land.
unless we just live in Florida, and I mean we do have a livable cost of living, but if it's easier in any other state, then I'm guessing Texas is the way. I don't know. But yeah, it was very interesting choice, but it didn't work for what this movie could have been. Almost like what you said, it almost feels almost like a wannabe try hard of the Halloween 2018.
Yes, it is. The whole thing of because for those of you that don't know, this movie serves as a direct sequel to the original. It ignores everything else that came before. Very similar to Halloween 2018, where just like the sequels don't matter anymore. It's just this and this new movie, like the original and the new one. And okay, so yeah, first of all, it's like okay, that's very Halloween 2018. And then you also have the fact that Sally, the final girl from the first one, is now a sheriff. She's a gun-toting badass, and you're like, okay, that's Lori from Halloween 2018. And there are
And
even some pieces of
about okay, but
dialogue that
can
are
we
almost
walk
they're almost
like
exactly the same. Where it's like I've been waiting for this for 50 years, and you're like, stop. Lori already did it first and better.
yeah. But can we talk about how this frustrated me so much, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not it. You know that scene where she's gutting a pig? And
Yes.
I'm like, I was just like, why? Like, 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 I was like, you're basically trying to make a reference to back then, but after going through what you did, you would think you don't want anything to do with that anymore. Now you're just replicating almost like to an animal what was basically happening back then. You're not traumatized, but then at the same time, you want to come back at Leatherface for doing what he did to your friends. Hmm. Like, I don't know.
I'm like, why?
Like, I
Yeah.
felt like he was trying too hard for her to almost like have that resemblance of like the families were like gutting people and all this other stuff. I'm like, let's make a reference of her gutting a pig. Like,
Yeah, I was like, okay.
okay,
Yeah, that's
like
another
I
thing I
guess
didn't
she's
like.
Leatherface. At that point, I was like, I expecting her to be the next Leatherface. Not gonna lie.
I was like,
not
nah,
gonna lie.
That would have been too much of a twist, and they're like, nah, that's not gonna work. And again, even with that same character, completely underutilized. She literally does not do anything for the entire movie until like the last 10 minutes. She shoots a gun, gets somehow not killed by getting stabbed through the chest with a chainsaw. Don't know how that didn't happen. I don't know how she didn't die from that. But then gives a shotgun to one of the girls and then she dies. So you're like, okay, that was the only reason you were there, to give somebody a shotgun and die. Like, come on.
That wasn't even a memorable death.
That was, yeah, it just felt, it was just like, Well, there goes Sally.
Yes.
Franklin over there is spinning in his grave. He's over there like, Sally!
You know what was the other thing, too? Tell me how. I'm not trying to bash. Mind you, I really do love this show.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show. I love Euphoria for obvious reasons because it's a very.
I love that
it's
show.
a very.
That show has broken me in so many ways. You have no idea.
Yeah, like Euphoria is like literally the most relatable show ever, and I reflected so much back on my high school. But first of all, we're not here to talk about Euphoria. But
we are not getting into that subject.
No, but I do want to reference the fact that obviously I'm pretty sure this happened before that, but when they're in that little party bus, everybody's drinking, it's just the lighting and the fact that we have to reference social media with like try anything bro, and basically like you're gonna get canceled, like like it's almost like trying to tie in so much elements with like, not gonna lie, the bisexual lighting and like the party scene, and then just having this one onslaught of kids getting killed in a bus. Like I was like, this seems way too teeny bopper for me. Like you said in
it felt like a Blumhouse movie.
Exactly.
It felt like a very bloody Blumhouse movie.
I'm like, I think it was unnecessary. I know that they were trying to reference like a party scene, but it didn't feel like that. It just felt like they were just purposely trapped in there just to get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just trying too hard to relate to like, it was trying to be, time.
It was like, hey, I'm hip with the kids. It felt like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is not the way to use the lighting. This is not the way to use the scene. They were just like, yeah, you're the only purpose you're in this movie right now, so you can die. like literally paying a bunch of extras. I'm like, yeah, you're just gonna all chill in a bus and you're all gonna get murdered by Leatherface. Cool. $10? Yeah, great, love that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Again, yeah. that's there's more that I didn't like. There's more I disliked than I did like.
Yeah.
Because again, even the whole thing with Leatherface and how he managed to escape the original house, and he ended up somehow at an orphanage. And that's never really touched on.
Yeah, like
that is just glazed over. You're like, oh shit. You were like, wait, he was in an orphanage? How did he end up there?
I was very confused because it made me feel like I didn't watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I know I have because I watched it before I even went to HHN last year. I was like, the house, wasn't it completely abandoned? Was there a town? Like I started second guessing everything. I was like, when did he get there? I mean, the house, not gonna lie, the house that they go into, it looks very similar.
It does.
Not gonna lie,
very similar setup where as soon as you walk in, you have the stairs to the right and the door right in front of you. So like that's very much
and the dining room and the fucking dining room. I was already expecting the old man to just be there in his wheelchair, like
okay, still alive.
Still alive.
Can't kill me.
Can't kill me. Just have him like lick your fingers and shit. You know how it be,
Yeah.
trying to give him a little thing to cut off the head and nothing.
Try to give him a hammer and it's just not work. Does not compute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, with the whole thing with Leatherface, according to the film, he is supposed to be Old Man Leatherface because it's been 50 years since the events of the original. There is nothing here to indicate that he is Old Man Leatherface. He walks like normal. He runs like normal. You're like, nothing about this is like, oh, he's old.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he's Old Man Leatherface, make the motherfucker look old. Make the motherfucker act old. Like, come on.
Still runs like a bitch.
Still runs like a gazelle.
Like a bitch. Yeah.
Still thinks he's a gazelle. A graceful chainsaw-toting gazelle.
Exactly. 100%. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, like, there's just, this movie was, like I said, it had its good, like, obviously cinematography, wardrobe, things like that. Whatever. But then there's just a lot of downsides. It was just, like I said, too hard to be Halloween 2018, and everything with all the elements tied together, and plus another downside, guys. I'm telling you, when I saw this movie and then I was looking at the timer when it ended, it was only an hour and 10 minutes.
It was that it was that short? I could have sworn it was like an hour and a half, but it just went by fast.
It was 15 minutes worth of credits.
Oh my fucking god. You gotta be kidding me.
15 minutes worth of credits.
That is ridiculous.
When I stopped it, I was like, wait, 1 hour and 10 minutes.
That is called padding runtime.
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah. Can we also talk about the after credit scene? Because this movie thinks it's an MCU movie and it has an after credit scene.
Yeah.
Well, we then cut to Bubba Gump, just walking down this desolate road, and when they pull the camera back, you realize, oh, he's just going back to the house from the original movie. So is he just gonna live there by himself? How is he gonna eat? How is he gonna survive? Because there's nobody there to take care of him.
Like I said, how was he living in the first place if the woman was practically inebriated? Like honestly, like I knew that he was kind of special, but I felt like she needed a lot more care than he did.
Yeah.
Because that whole scene, like when she was having a heart attack, and then he just carried her. And the police officers were like, oh, that's his son. That's her son. Let him pass. I'm like, it's like you've never heard of him, but okay, like just let the murderer pass by and get in your car and like, try to console his mother that's currently dying in his arms. Yeah. But sure. Yeah, that works. Like,
why not?
Like you would think. I was like, God, this motherfucker hideous. He looked familiar. No.
Not at all.
Never heard of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never heard of him. We don't know of that murders about this. Like the fact that they also referenced that in the beginning of the movie and everybody's fucking aware of it.
Yeah, they were trying to be like all meta about it, or like, oh, here's like a true crime documentary about the events, and you're like, what is that supposed to accomplish?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that. And okay, so here's one of the things where I disagreed with you. I did not like that thing with the girl about the school shooting.
Okay.
It was stupid. And it didn't add anything to the story.
It didn't, but I liked that it was in a horror film and it's not something that people are ballsy enough to put in a movie, I guess. Because it's such a touchy subject, unless you are going to be making a movie on school shootings, like an actual. But I'm like,
it could have been done better.
It could have been done better. I do agree, but like for what it was worth, I feel like at that point she was like almost like the driving force to what happened towards the conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was the only purpose she served, and whatever.
Yeah,
it worked for the production it was given. But like I said, this movie has cons versus pros. But it was an idea that basically almost drove the movie almost the entire time. Let's be real here. Like,
yeah, it was just a bit weird for me. Because I'm like, what does
Yeah.
that have to do with anything?
Driving force to
Like you could have switched that out with anything, and it would have been the exact same result. You could have been like, oh, like she had an abusive father, and she ended up, having to kill her father in self-defense. It would have the exact same result.
True.
Like it didn't particularly relate to her having to deal with being in that type of situation.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Agree
like,
to disagree.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, that's kind of like the bigger picture stuff that I disliked.
Yeah.
Because like it was put into my list of top 10 most anticipated films of 2022, and I was like, oof, this was not
Big
that
ouch.
good. I had such high hopes.
I didn't.
Well,
even
okay,
think
I didn't
about
have
it.
high hopes. I was anticipating it just because I love Texas Chainsaw.
High hopes. There we go. High hopes. Sorry. A
See,
goofy movie.
I'm over here thinking my high hopes for a living, like stupid Panic at the Disco song. That thing. That's what I was
Panic at the
thinking of.
Disco is not stupid.
No, that song
Take
is
that
stupid. I don't like
back.
that. I don't like that song. But them as a band are freaking awesome. I love Panic at the Disco. I just don't like that song.
Yeah. Here we go again and getting sidetracked. But
What is
anyway,
wrong with us?
hey guys, I hope you guys like sidetracked thoughts. Anyway,
Look, people can relate to us that way. They're like, "Oh yeah, I don't like that song either." Or like, "Oh yeah, I like that too." Or like, or they could be like, "Yussef, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you hate the CW?"
What? Yeah.
Anyway,
Beyond me.
leave me alone.
Anyway,
I'm entitled to my opinions, and in
and
my opinion
entitled
is,
you are.
are you saying I'm entitled? Wow, wow, I love that.
No, I
Thank
love
you.
You're welcome. We strive to keep each other up. Anyway,
Moving on.
so I think we've gotten to a very deep rabbit hole of the pros and cons. I think we should take a break to talk about what went into the making of this movie. So I think we're going to go into our grave robbing facts.
That is correct. So, take a quick break. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
So, hey everyone, it is time for our grave robbing facts. It is a segment where we stop in the middle of the podcast to talk about the things that go into making of the movie or TV series, haunt, or event that we are covering for the episode. So, this is an episode that we're doing 10 grave robbing facts of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, the Netflix version.
Yep, that is correct. So we actually have 10 facts for you this time, because the last couple of times all we had was like 5 or 4, because the movies that we chose were so obscure that they didn't have any facts for us to give.
Yeah, so
and they're also shitty as hell.
Lengthy. Yeah, they were pretty bad.
Anyway, so we're going to start right off here with our first grave robbing fact. And reading this one, it actually makes a lot of sense now. The film was initially slated for a theatrical release sometime in 2021, but all plans were scrapped due to a string of disastrous test screenings. It was subsequently sold to Netflix. So the movie, when people were doing the test audiences, they were like, yeah, this is so bad that whoever was planning on releasing it were like, Netflix, do you want this? Like, here, take it. Nobody else wants this.
Damn.
And Netflix was like, sure, we'll sell Texas Chainsaw to somebody.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy is that, like, I mean, it's not bad. I heard that Netflix, they tend to do, like, test screenings on their own to see if, like, they'll pass things through, like, their system to even be added to the streaming services. But I also heard as long as it meets the time requirements that they require for a film to be what it is,
I mean,
and if you give it a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen some of the stuff that is on Netflix, so you're like, how the hell did this get put on Netflix?
Yeah, if you sell it for a substantial amount of money, they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's something that'll just happen. Where you'd be like, you can look at, especially on Netflix. Sometimes their horror selection is really really bad,
yeah.
but it's definitely not as bad as Amazon Prime's. Amazon Prime has like, for every one good movie, they have like 10 bad ones.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
That's
But,
why I don't go on Amazon Prime that much unless they have like it was a beautiful time when a lot of the Child's Play was all in, like included in Prime. It was a beautiful time.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful time.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to our second grade robbing fact, which is John
Larroquette?
Larroquette. John Larroquette serves as the narrator in this film as well as the original 1974 version, which I kind of love. We love keeping original people alive, and
Yeah.
and
Well, what's surprising to me is the fact that
franchise.
this person is still alive. I didn't even know that John Larroquette was still around. And I like his voice for it. He's got a cool voice for that stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And it does add to the Texas Chainsaw. Hey, if they gotta make their money's worth, at least if you're gonna go watch this movie, at least enjoy and appreciate someone from the original is on it.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. I was like, okay, cool. That was a good way to start it. But anyway, our next grave robbing fact. This one was really interesting. So Sally's barn and house, seen during her introductory scene when she receives a phone call about Leatherface returning, are sets from the production of Rambo: Last Blood. So they were like, okay, they asked Sylvester Stallone, like, hey, when you're done with this barn, can we use it for the scene where this a woman cuts a pig open?
They're like, sure.
Sly was like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, this makes me just want to watch that movie just so I can reference it back. Go back to watch this movie to see how much they kept through the set design, which, is always fun to me. I mean, it's kind of like HHN, let's be honest. They reuse a lot of their shit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, you're just like, but didn't you guys use this, like, 3 years in a row now?
I just think it's like what for me was like really funny. It's just like the most random movie that they just left the set for. It's just Rambo, like the last Rambo movie. So you're like, of all things, that's the set you're using, the one from the last Rambo. Interesting. Okay.
They're like, that's about right.
Go off.
Our fourth grave robbing fact is that the population sign at the edge of Harlow says population 1974, which is the year that the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie came out.
Look at that! I like that fact. That's a cute little fact. That's nice. I like when that's when they do Easter eggs. Like that's the kind of stuff I like.
Yeah,
like, those are like little things, not like obvious stuff, but like little things that you might not pick up on. But our next one, this is another one of those like small Easter eggs. The name of the county the film takes place in, as well as the sheriff's department, is Hooper County. This is a nod to the co-creator of TCM, as well as the original 1974 film's director, the late great Tobe Hooper.
Oh,
who made TCM, TCM2, Poltergeist was one of his, which is friggin' amazing. So yeah, he's made some good stuff, or made some good stuff, yeah.
So the person who made this TCM was not even the original.
Oh no, definitely not. No, Tobe Hooper passed away, I think, in like the early 2000s. For me, like this movie's like biggest thing that attracted me was the fact that it was produced by Fede Alvarez, the guy who directed Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead remake. So that's
the Evil Dead remake was good though.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, okay, that gives me some good hope. I'm like, okay, the fact that he's putting his name behind this, I'm like, okay, I have faith in this. At least he delivered on the gore.
Yeah, he did.
He delivered on the gore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But our next grave robbing fact is one of the comments on the live videos during the bus scene is from David Blue Garcia, the director of the film. I'm dead. That's funny. Well, did you see the comment that said that is so fake?
Yeah,
I cried.
Yes, I did.
I was like, no, stop, please. And it's like, he's like, oh, that's a party I want to be invited to. Where is this? I was like, no, what?
Shut up.
Like, this is cringy. Make it stop. I just love the one comment. Just this is fake.
This is
Because I was like,
fake.
yo, that's every time there's like any horror or like very gory like video on the internet. It's like this is so fake as fuck. I can tell it's fake. Someone dying, spewing out
Sure.
blood, crying for dear life, and calling 9/11. Nothing.
So, turns out
But
we only have
anyway.
9 grave robbing facts. I was reading the doc right now. I just realized I put the same fact in there twice. So we only have 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, next one we have
Right.
here on August 24th, 2020, initial directors and brothers, Ryan and Andy Tohill, split from the project during the film's first week of production in Bulgaria. So they were filming this in Bulgaria. That's weird. The duo was replaced with David Blue Garcia, who scrapped and reshot the previous footage. So he said,
What
fuck what you
previous
guys
footage?
made, we're going to redo this. From scratch.
Okay, but reshot the entire movie or just the beginning part, it seems like.
Well, no, the first week of production, actually, that could have been any scenes that they were shooting. It was just the first week that they were shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like,
Well,
nah, fuck that, let's delete
hope,
everything.
we sure as shit hope it was the first scene, though.
Mm.
Because the first scene was actually okay, though. Like, the first couple of scenes were
Yeah,
okay
it had a good
because
start.
it had good lighting, good, like, whoever edited it, black words, like, made it seem like the Texas Chainsaw, like, you know, just the quality of it, of like when they were riding in the car, when they're at the gas station, that kind of thing. I was like, okay, I like the fact that, you know, we stayed true to like colors and
Mm-hmm.
color schemes of the yellow and
Very
the
reminiscent of the original,
blues.
too.
Yeah. So if it's that, then 100%. But if it was the bus scene, stop. Stop yourself.
Check
But
yourself
either
before you
way.
wreck yourself, boy.
Yeah. And can we talk about that rain scene though? Wait. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't like. The rain scene. So staged. It's like they threw a hose probably at the top of the building just to make it look like
Oh,
it's raining.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, ah,
Guys,
no.
come on. You can do that better than that.
That was the first scene. Guy's freaking bleeding with his jaw half open.
No, but
like,
that effect was really cool, though. I like that effect of his, like,
yeah,
his jaw beat the fuck up. That was cool.
yeah. But either way, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that more later.
But our
But
last grave robbing fact, because I'm an idiot, I actually I put 2 of the same facts together, and I'm stupid. I'm sorry. But the last one that we have, the sound effect of the barbecue lid being open is a musical cue from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is that sound that they use in all the trailers and everything, like the chicking. This time
heard that, and I
this
thought it was
time they
cool.
used it to open a barbecue lid.
Yeah, which cute. I was like,
A barbecue
all right.
lid.
Yeah, I know it could have been a camera, but they're not going to use an old
Well,
retro
not even
camera
a
unless
camera.
one of the
They could have
characters.
just had it as like a sound sting. As like whenever when Leatherface has like a jump scare, they could have put the sound in, just to like make it creepy. But like
Yeah,
really, to make the sound of somebody opening a barbecue lid is that like one of the most iconic sounds, and you're gonna use it to open a barbecue lid. Like, good
you had to
job.
put it somewhere, I guess.
Come on, but really, of all things.
Yeah. But yeah, those are 8 grave robbing facts.
Could have been
Don't be so hard
10,
on
but
yourself.
Yusef here is half asleep while he was doing this, so don't judge.
Yeah, don't mind us. But anyway, those are our grave robbing facts that have gone to the production of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. And now we will get back to our daily programming.
See you guys in a bit.
Daily,
Regularly
monthly.
scheduled programming.
Yeah,
That
regularly
stuff.
scheduled and that stuff.
All right. And welcome back to our discussion on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, the Netflix original. We're moving on to probably what's going to be my favorite segment of this episode, our favorite kills.
Yeah, so one of the best things about this movie was the deliverance of gore and kills. So there is some saving grace to this movie if you
Oh yeah,
decide to watch it.
yeah. This movie
So
delivered hardcore on like if you want blood, guts, people getting chopped up with chainsaws, we got you.
yeah.
Because funny enough, this is
So
one of the few times where Leatherface like exclusively uses his chainsaw. Because if you look at
yeah,
the first movie, he only kills like one person with a chainsaw. Like he
yeah.
kills Franklin. Everybody else he hits with a hammer. So there you go. Look
Still
at that.
happens. He
Yeah.
still kind of
But
beats
like in
someone
this
up
one,
with
he
a
was like, "Oh
hammer.
no, don't worry. I'm gonna put this chainsaw to good use."
Yeah.
Okay, actually, before we get to that, here's something I never understood. That chainsaw was like
Mhm.
hidden underneath the floor or something, right? It was like hidden in a closet or something like that, right?
Yeah.
How the hell does it still work? It's been 50 years. First of all, how did it have gas? Because it just turned on like it was nothing.
He has warranty.
Yeah, sure, he had a warranty, a 50-year, a lifetime warranty on a random chainsaw that he probably found somewhere. Oh my god, he had a
He went
warranty.
to automo. He went to
Like
Sears
there's
before
like
they
actually like a
closed.
deleted scene where he goes and buys gas and comes back and puts it in and then he pulls it out.
Nah, he went to Sears before they closed and bought up their entire stock. You know how it'd be lifetime warranty because they're never gonna give it to him ever again. Hey, we're closing forever, but here's a lifetime warranty. Not that you're actually gonna be warranted or anything, right?
Here's a chainsaw, just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the arms of an angel. Rest in peace, Sears. Um,
But yeah, kills wise, I would say one of my favorites was the I think it was like the handyman in the town, like the older guy that was in the pickup truck with the gun at the beginning of the movie.
mm-hmm.
I liked his because Leatherface just goes to town on his head and just straight up smashes the shit out of it over and over again, which was like I was like, yeah, that's right, keep it going, more,
Yeah.
or like the Kylo Ren meme, just going more,
More.
more. I like that. I like the effect, like I said earlier, about one of the other characters, the other hipsters, with his face all like cheek and everything, like all just goried up and just destroyed and messed up. That was cool. I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
the fact that it was sliced, because you don't really see that kill very well, but the fact that
Hmm.
you later see it and I guess in a better perspective, like with the camera, like you just see that like his teeth, his gums, like everything is opened up, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh God, like he did a number on you, like he really did a number on you, kind of thing. So it was like.
He
It
did a
was like
number.
disturbing, but it was
Yeah,
good.
it was
It was a good
like
kill.
what I wanted. That was a good
Yeah.
kill. The final kill was good. The decapitation with the chainsaw was good. That was fun to
Yeah.
watch. I like that.
I
Um,
I I lo- I just thought what the fuck half the time because I really thought they were gonna get away, which I was like, oh, cute ending. But I was like, how did he manage to run? Like he must have been practicing for the Olympics
that's what I'm
because he just got
saying.
onto the
How
like
is he old man
nothing
Leatherface if he's just running around like a maniac?
and just grabs the bitch out the car and just like
Oh,
Tell me who the fuck is driving? Who the fuck is driving? You see the car doing like a turn
it's
while
it's
she's
supposed
like
to be
screaming?
because it's supposed to be like a Tesla. It's on auto drive. Because Teslas have autopilot. You didn't know that?
I do, but I
Yeah,
didn't realize that it was a Tesla that
it's
was
not a
doing that.
Tesla. It's like a fake Tesla. You know, like I guess they couldn't use a real Tesla, so they were like, "Yeah, make it something that looks like a Tesla."
Yeah, so I was like,
It's a great
that
value
car is
Tesla.
driving by itself. And then she's just screaming out to her sister that he's just he literally is like teasing him, like, watch this.
And then does his little dance.
Yeah, and of course he does his little lid dance. He dance. Not the iconic one, but something
Something
similar, I
kind of
guess.
close to it, yeah.
Kind of close to
But
it,
hey,
because I guess
listen,
the
at
iconic.
like 70 something years old, Leatherface still has the dance moves at least.
He got the moves like Jagger.
He's got the moves like Bubba.
He let the moves like Bubba. He got the moves. Old man Bubba got the moves. That's
Old man Bubba.
that's the name of the episode. Yeah, the name of the
Old man
episode.
Bubba. I like that. That's a
Old
good
man
name.
Bubba got the move.
Old man Bubba's got the moves.
He got the moves.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's gonna be a name for this episode. I like that.
So one of my favorite kills actually doesn't have to do with the chainsaw that he did. My favorite kill was like when he grabbed that guy's arm, twisted it, and jabbed him with his own like his own bone like into his throat. I was like,
yeah, that
yo!
was great. That was good.
I was like, yo, that's raw as shit. What the fuck? Like, he's like, I was like, I don't have something to kill you, but let me just like, it was almost like he had a temporary like Freddy Krueger kind of thing going and just like jab and it's like, all right. Like, I was like, damn. When I saw that, I was at work and I was like cringing. I was like, what? It's so gory, but I love it.
Yeah, it was a good kill. I like that kill a lot too, actually. That was good.
Yeah. But I am not gonna lie though. I did like another ending scene besides Bubba cutting the girl's head in half and that kind of thing. Well, the head off the body. Not head off the head. That doesn't make sense.
I'm cutting the head off the head.
Head off the head. But the one that of course the other girl shoots Leatherface and then she kind of like jabs his like jaw. It's not a kill because he comes back to life, let's be real.
Yeah, but like kind of smacks his jaw up with the gun, right?
Like smacks the jaw up with the chainsaw. But then I was thinking I thought that was really cool because I liked the cinematic look that looked and served.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. The only problem I do have with that scene is that it looked really close to It Chapter 2, I think. And then with like the water and everything else, I was already gonna see. I was like, where's
Pennywise
the other kid? Yeah, where's Pennywise? Just
hey,
like, yo,
Bubba.
flow too, you know?
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah. Hey, Bubba. You got fucked over again? You got fucked over by meddling kids? Same. It'd be great.
Did your life just turn into an episode of Scooby-Doo? Cause same.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought that was a really creative way to like show off, you killing the villain and, just the bird shot, just like, it's like, all right, cool. Like, we got to see what happened. Jaw freaking opens up and, immortal stuff, how horror movies be like. Chucky never really dies. Michael Myers never really dies. These characters are just, every time you kill them, it's like more ammo for them. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Kill me again.
Kill me again.
It's like the more they get killed, the stronger they get.
Exactly. And that's how I feel like sometimes they're just immortal at this point. Like, it's just, an 80s frenzy. I feel like right now, like I've always said in every episode, I feel like we're just going into a horror film killer revival that it's like, there's been successes, of course, Halloween. I heard the Chucky series, but I haven't watched it, so please don't spoil anything if you have, Yussef.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm a heathen. I should really get on that, but right now...
The heathen has been revealed, and it is you.
And I know Child's Play is like my favorite character, right? Like, well, not... Chucky's my favorite character franchise-wise. It's Child's Play, but I haven't gotten on over to the series. Wow, I know, I'm a heathen. Anyway,
you gotta watch that series. That series is great.
Anyway, but we also have Scream. So now it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre's turn. Didn't do well, but
we're over here still waiting for Jason to make his comeback and Freddy to make a comeback, and we're like, cool.
Yeah.
We should be getting something eventually for Friday the 13th, because apparently they're finally clearing up the issues with the rights, so where people can actually make something again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's good.
I want some more. I want some more Friday the 13th. Damn it.
Same.
But
yeah. Either way, but there's a lot of great kills in this movie. The little skinning of the face was a little bleh for me because you couldn't really see it. It
I
was
like
very
that,
far
but
away.
I even though they didn't show it, I like the sound design on it.
Yeah,
Like the sound on it was really good with like the squelching and like the cutting and like you could tell it was like really jagged and stuff. And then
yeah.
like the scene of
But
him like pulling it up and like showing it up in the air. I was like, okay, that looks cool. I like that shot. That looks really cool.
Yeah, but I don't
Until
like
he
the
puts
fact
it
that
on.
you have to watch it. Like you had to watch it from a rear view mirror while we're seeing it from the girl's perspective before she dies. Like her kill was very boring.
Mm-hmm.
She
See,
just
honestly,
gets
I didn't mind the fact that you kind of saw it in like a weird angle because I thought it was creative. Instead of just like
yeah,
here's him doing his stuff, you're seeing it from her point of view where you're like, oh god, what the fuck is he doing?
yeah.
Yeah,
But she did have a very boring kill though.
she did.
She was just like jab in the stomach.
Done. Bye.
Done. Bye. Yeah. But I think those were all the kills for me. I mean, like the guy also getting like, his head squashed by the hammer was,
That was good.
right, was good. It was a nice little callback, but you know, it's like it's not every day that you squash pumpkins, right?
In this case, the pumpkin just happens to be a human head.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about our favorite scenes.
They the same category?
Well, no, like favorite kills are like specific things. I guess like favorite scenes would be like stuff that doesn't have to include a kill.
Yeah.
Like for example, I did like the scene where, like at the beginning when they're getting gas and they're kind of making fun of this dude from Texas. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're gonna fuck with a Texan. You're gonna learn how to fuck with a Texan right now." And he starts fucking annoying them on the road, like tailgating them and like fucking with them. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
That was funny. Cause I'm like, that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good scene. Trying to think of any like non-kill scenes that were fun to watch. But I can't think of any. As sad as it is to admit that.
Like the ending scene, does the light. I like the fact that we got to see the iconic callback to the original, even though there was no reason for it. But I do like the whole reminiscence of it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
reminiscence is fine. I did enjoy that point of view of the sister seeing the head being held. Like we see the car driving far away, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can tell that it's like the distance. Like she like basically like her traumas will never end because that's
Yeah.
like the last thing that she'll ever see of her sister. So that leaves an impression, kind of thing. Like I said, I'm just questioning the self-driving car, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not even old enough to drive. But here we are. I wonder how the drive home went. Wait, how did they get gas if like it was a self-driving car?
I don't wait. Yeah, there's a scene where they get gas. Oh my fucking god!
I had to think about that. Wait,
Jesus Christ! How did we not notice this? So is it like a gas-powered self-driving car? I guess I don't. That's
is
so
that
weird.
even legal?
I don't even know. Well, granted, how are self-driving Teslas even legal at this point?
Oh yeah. Emergency brake. Tesla didn't even hit the emergency brake for that shit, and there was clearly enough.
Tesla goes all HAL 9000 on you. It's like, I'm afraid you can't do that, Dave.
Yeah.
It looks like we're gonna be taking you home, Dave.
Yeah, it didn't even give them the little light when Leatherface was in the way.
Right?
Didn't
Not even like the
alert
blind
them.
spotlight? Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, car. These are supposed to be standard safety features now. Come on.
Yeah.
What kind of car are you?
But I did like, ooh, you know what I did like? I know this wasn't exactly a kill because she got away. I really did like when he tried to use the chainsaw and try to cut through the cardboard, and you just see that chasing scene between the chainsaw and her trying to crawl out of that hole.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, like that's really cutting it close. Like I was like, damn, how much like if he would have gone the same speed or faster, like, you know, because I assumed that like the chainsaw will have some resistance
Mm-hmm.
to the wood, that's why it's taking so long to him for
Yeah.
him to catch up. But I really did like the scene between you see the chainsaw and then like her peripheral of her trying to escape it
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. So I did like that scene a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't really think
Yeah.
of any other scenes that I like really stood out to me that weren't kills, but yeah, there weren't a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'm just glad there were a ton of kills.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah. But it is time now to discuss some final thoughts. So, Vanya, what did you overall think of this?
Like I said, didn't love it, didn't hate it. But I think it was entertaining for what it was worth.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's just like you really gotta push through, like thinking that it's a part of the sequel of the original, but that's about it. That's all you're gonna get, and unless someone is kind of like the Game of Thrones director, where we're just looking for that last book so we can actually try and forget about the mess and try to recreate the ending, then I feel like, you know, it's an exception for you never to watch this movie.
Yeah.
But until then, if you need to fill in your little Texas Chainsaw heart, and if you really need to, watch it, but it's not going to fill it as much as a cup of water, which is going to be half empty. But yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 for me, dog.
Okay. Yeah, overall I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything like super special. It didn't do anything to really stand out from other slashers right now. The story was pretty shitty and kind of hard to understand because you were like, what the fuck do I care about these hipsters buying a town? With what money?
We never see any exchange of money at any
but
point, which is crazy.
the bloodiness of the kills, the gore effects, those were nice. You know, like seeing Leatherface like go all out and just go hardcore on everybody was fun to watch. Sally was wasted though. There's no point to Sally being in the movie at all.
Notice how we barely talked about her.
Yeah, because that's how little she was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really about all I have to say. I would give this one a 5 out of 10. Actually, it's a little lower.
Yeah. Like I said, it has redeeming qualities.
Yeah,
It's just not a.
it's very
This one,
much a put it on, turn your brain off type of horror movie.
yeah. And the fact that it was 70 minutes long.
Yes, that is wow. That's surprising.
Yeah, if you literally go back and try to pause it exactly where the movie ends, I was just like, yo, it was only 1 hour, 10 minutes,
Wow.
15 minutes of credits, and then just to add that little tiny scene of him walking
Towards the original house, yeah.
Yeah, and then but I didn't count that, so maybe 12. 1 hour 12.
We'll say that.
Yeah. If
but
the scene was 2 minutes long, or maybe it was a minute.
I think it was less than that, but I think like because it's like half, you know, they gave you like some of the credits and they cut to that after credit scene and then they put the rest of the credits out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to watch it, if you want to watch like a really fun, bloody, gory movie, then watch this one.
You know what would have worked? Maybe. Like if it was a limited series of 20 minutes each segment.
That would have been better. Yeah, that would have been a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, like you know, as if it was like a continuation, but not really. Like nobody would have to take it that seriously. That kind of thing. Almost kind of like the Scream movie from MTV, not Scream movie, Scream television series, like for MTV, which is supposed to be some type of continuation, but not really, because that's what I feel like this kind of was. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Or 25 minutes, 3 episodes.
Like a
miniseries. Yeah, miniseries.
But yeah, that's really all we have when it comes to this episode. I mean, like I said, it's a fun movie to watch if you like blood and gore and guts. Just don't expect anything close to a decent story here. At all. And for just some like weird plot inconsistencies and stuff like that. and unwasted characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
have a serious question for you though.
what's up?
CW or this?
I still watch this just for the gore.
Nah.
Unless
Way.
CW went like hardcore with like blood and guts, I'd be like, yeah, I could watch it. Like I'm just
Yeah.
imagining like a really like just hardcore, gory version of like Riverdale or Supernatural. I'm like, this I would watch.
Meh. Anyways, we're gonna go to our basic house cleaning shit. Housekeeping, house cleaning. Same shit. Housekeeping kind of thing. So for me, you will find me at HHN Cultist on Twitter and YouTube. I basically cover anything with makeup, universal updates, and on YouTube, whenever I feel like it, whenever there's actually things that are going on right now. But right now, I'm just updating more on the Twitter, that kind of thing, since Howling Hornets is now continuing to tease us yet again. But what's new?
And
But another thing I wanted to say.
there's also the fact that people can follow instructions on Twitter.
Okay.
Where the Halloween Horror Nights Twitter is like, hey, if this gets 666 likes, we'll post an announcement. It got like 1,000 likes, and people are like, even like the Twitter was like, you guys really don't know how to pay attention, do you?
Yeah. It's just the fact that, people in the community are still being garbage. I'm like, they're like, oh, they're not going to announce anything. I know when they're going to announce it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, just let people enjoy the speculation or some kind of hope that there will be an announcement that will all be good one day. Like, stop trying to be a Debbie Downer because you've been in the community for so long and the speculations and all this other bullshit. Like, let everybody be happy in their own little HHN bubble. Like, just enjoy the fandom for what it is. Stop telling people that, not to get their high hopes up, because at that point you're just being a Debbie Downer and nobody wants that. So
yeah, and I'm just over here vibing. I'm just like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's it.
Exactly. Just vibe.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens. Shut the
Anyway.
Hold on, didn't even. Yeah.
There we go. Now we got the sound out of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, for my personal stuff, you can find me on Instagram at Yussef1220 and on Twitter at itbeyusef. I'm usually most active on Twitter. I don't post a lot on Instagram. But for our podcast, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Sounds from the Grave. And then for our podcast, we have our podcast pretty much anywhere you can get it. So that's Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever. And then we also have our YouTube videos or segments or YouTube channel. Can't think of the word. We post a couple more things on there, like some vlogs every once in a while and some just random little videos here and there. So if you're interested in some more of that stuff, you can check it out.
If you want to see our faces.
Or if you want to see our ridiculous, dumb faces, then yes, you can do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all we have. So, yeah, thank you guys again for listening. We really appreciate you. And we will catch you next week with an all-new episode.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
All right. Bye, everybody. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.